Shaney, how are you doing?
Hi, Lloyd. I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice. Now we put the face to the voice. You get you live in the studio.
Yes.
And congratulations on your achievements as well.
Thank you so much.
Right, and thank you for coming through Women's Month. We're going to empower some, in fact, all females listening in Lotus Land this afternoon. Now, you are the founder of, is it Mom Says?
Yes.
Right, and it's a unique resource for mums. And I know you were thrown in the deep, and therefore you started your business. So tell us how you gave birth to this.
Geez, I think the idea goes back 6.5 years. You know, when I became a first-time mom at the age of 21. And, you know, when you become a first-time mom at 21, things are a bit crazy. Because all my friends, you know, were studying and partying, and here was a mom, which I loved being, but it was a very lonely journey. And I started blogging just because I wanted to connect with other moms. You know, as a young mom, I didn't have enough friends that understood my journey and what I was going through. So I started blogging to share my experience and connect with women that were in the same phase as me.
Did you imagine that it'll take off though? Like you'd get a good response, so you just said, "I'm going to do this. Whatever happens, happens."
No, not at all. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like,
Really?
if I go back and look at my first post, I'm like, oh my word, did I really write that?
Wow.
Because it was like, it was horrible. But I still have it on the blog. But I was writing, and to me, no one was reading. And I was like, I'm still going to keep writing. Because it became more of my online diary. You know, me just sharing bits and pieces of my life or what it's like with a newborn. And then all of a sudden, one day, I looked at my analytics and I'm like, oh my word, I'm onto something. You know, this blog is actually reaching a lot of moms. And it wasn't just in South Africa. You know, I have a big presence in Kenya and Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the blog started growing, and then I realized, okay, it's just not an online diary anymore. It's becoming something bigger and more of a community of moms than just me.
Now, Shaney, how have you grown your business over the years?
So honestly, I started off with the blog, and I'm sure you heard of the whole influencer space.
Yeah, we'll touch on that just now. I have some questions for you.
So that's basically how I started my business, you know, and as a freelancer getting into this space, you're not sure what to expect.
Right.
You know, so I had to register a business, do everything legally. And then brands started approaching me. You know, you have this platform, you're connecting with the audience we want to reach. How can we work together?
Wow.
And then I discovered something called a media kit, which every influencer needs.
Right.
And, you know, I first was thumb-sucking rates, and then as I went along, I realized, okay, this is what I'm worth, this is what I should be charging, and it just grew from there. So with that, you know, I started working on Mom Says, using You Baby and I as a platform to pitch my startup to say, you know what, I have this audience, they're already interested in this idea, and now I'm going to build something bigger. And of course now I'm working on Mom Says, which is completely different from You Baby and I, because it's not a blog.
Now, sticking with blogging space, let's zone in on South Africa, right?
Okay.
How would you describe it?
That's a tough one, because it's growing. Of course it's growing in South Africa, but I think the big problem is a lot of people don't understand what it's about. Like what's an influencer, what is an influencer supposed to be doing. Does an influencer only get free stuff? Is her life revolving around sponsored goods? But there's a lot more. It's like every other jobs. There's pros and cons, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I think people just don't look at that.
So let's talk about the influencer thing for a couple of seconds, because you guys do come in for a lot of crit, right? What I see is just a fancy, nice lifestyle. You're posing there with some good food, meeting some awesome people, red carpet events, and you got like nice products and brands and all these nice classy events. But like, really, what goes on behind the scenes? Yes, it looks pizzazz on the picture, but really, there's a lot of work behind the scenes.
So I'll tell you, that picture that you're looking at, there was most probably between 30 to 50 takes before we got the perfect.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So that is the step one, right? When you normally do a campaign or you attending something big, you go in with a plan. Like if the brand is paying me to be there, or you know, this is something I'm really passionate about, how can I create creative content? You know, because you're a content creator. So you'd look at different poses, different outfits that you would use. Now, I mean, I did a campaign recently where we actually went through a whole lot of different types of photo shoots that we wanted to do, you know. And you look at things like that. And when you go there on the day, as I said, you take out between 30 to 50 photos. You go back and you sit in editing, trying to get the right pose, you know, edit those photos with filters, because, you know, Instagram's all about that. And then you think about your caption, you know. So it's not something that you just put out there. A lot of content is prepared beforehand, and it's more than what you see, you know, especially with blogs. Sometimes it takes me a week or 2 weeks
to
or
put it
even
down.
a month. Yeah, because it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing research.
Now, you're your own boss, right? So there's perks and challenges. Share some of those with us. 'Cause I'm sure it's not easy.
It's not.
But at the
all.
same time, you
Yeah.
have that comfort of putting it down in your time and making sure you do your thing.
Exactly. So I'm here in Durban, and that's one of the perks, that, you know, I can work from anywhere and everywhere. And I'm my own boss, so that means I can work whatever time I want to. With 3 kids, that does help. But that also means that sometimes I'm working till 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to finish a deadline. And, you know, as a influencer, you're known as a freelancer, and sometimes you just don't get paid on time, which is a scary thing when you're your own boss, because you never know when your salary is going to come through
Got to keep chasing it.
and what that salary is going to be like. That's exactly it.
So you said you got 3 kids. So how do you balance this now? Family life and then obviously doing this.
So I'm very lucky that I have a good support system. So, you know, my family is very supportive of what I do. And I don't think I'd be able to do what I'm doing if it wasn't for them, because my cousin does help me with the kids. It is tough balancing the both, but my kids are very lucky that they are also a part of my work. So, you know, they get to attend events with me or be part of campaigns with me, which they like, because they also
So you're
get
grooming
sponsored.
future bloggers. Like-
I think my daughter, yes.
Finally, Shaney, your advice, and then now to women across the country and globally audio streaming as well who are considering entrepreneurship, what would you say to them?
It's not an easy road. I think people don't understand what it is to become an entrepreneur. Right now, it does seem like a bit of, you know, the latest fashion. I want to be in startups. I want to be an entrepreneur. It's hard work, you know. Things just don't happen overnight. You may be lucky, but that's not always the case. It's taken me 3 years to get my startup off the ground and get funding for it. So I think the biggest thing is you just have to keep pushing. You got to believe in your idea, even though when others around you don't believe it, and just trust yourself that you know what you're doing.